Welcome back to our second count. I am honored to welcome in friend of the show and a guy that all you guys are going to want to know very, very soon because he controls a lot of your destinies. He is the one, the only very talented Raphael Esparza. Raphael, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me. I've been excited to do this. I've been listening to you guys for a while, so I was pretty excited when you asked me to join the show.
Well, we if you
Absolutely.
get if you Raphael, well, first of all,
Well,
thank you.
we're pretty, you know what? Oh, yeah, sorry, Brian.
You're good. By the way, Daniel, you're lagging because you're on the road again, buddy. Um, Raphael, if you could
Yeah.
work with Coach and some of the others that you work with, this should be a very good treat for you today.
I've dealt with Vegas drunks for almost 15 Super Bowls when I worked in Vegas, so this should be a piece of
Oh,
cake.
Well, now you're dealing with a Virginia drunk, so we're good.
And I just wanted to say it's nice to meet our listener, and I'm hoping that one day we meet the other one one day. That's it. So,
Ooh,
Okay, I can't top that one, but welcome aboard, Raphael.
That's it, folks. We'll see you next week. No, but it's one of those things, Raphael, you and I go back, a little bit anyways. Not, I should say a long time, but a lot of the sports betting has become something that we'll say has gotten a very, very popular between, like you mentioned with Vegas, the sports books, your fan duels and whatnot. Um, you were one of the first ones or the first one to do wrestling prop bets, correct?
Yes, I did them before they actually went public because in Vegas you always want to hit the papers. You always want there's a thing that they goes out to all the casinos called the Gaming Today, and it talks about football stuff, baseball, and all that. So they asked me to do some crazy odds that you can't bet on that they can just put in the paper itself. And so I started doing wrestling odds, Oscars, just some crazy stuff. And then the wrestling ones caught my attention just because people kept on asking, "Oh, you can bet that, you can bet that," and stuff like that. So finally, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I have a niche here. And so I went to the bosses, I went to the gaming control board, and asked them, "Hey, can we put odds and actual live bet on wrestling?" They're like, "No, there's no way. They know the outcomes, blah 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 blah, the rules and stuff like that." I'm like, "We could put low limits. We could put $25. Can you imagine putting a WrestleMania on the big screen at a sports book on a Sunday when there's no football? You can just charge for drinks, food, and beverage. You would make your money on that alone, not just on the bets that have limits." So they said no and all that. So finally, I went other ways to do it, and that's when I went started doing a lot of stuff offshore in the global books. Officially, they you could actually bet on was on 2009.
now how do you come up with a formula for an outcome that's usually predetermined? How does that work? In other words, you got your um, Logan Paul versus John Cena. Now, how in the world are you gonna? How do you come up with how that works?
Well, I have John Cena minus 3,000 on that one. Some of them, and Logan Paul or Paul is 9 to 1 on that one. Those are the ones like, yeah, people are they just want to see it. They're not going to probably bet it. They just want to see it. Now, it's the closer ones that you get the more action on. I tell people now, some of the odds that I do on some of these PLEs, at least three dogs hit. At least three plus monies have hit the PLEs. We saw four of them hit on SummerSlam. So there's sometimes we see the dog cash. I try to look at it on a fan point of view. I look at pops. I look at stuff like that. I don't look at, okay, what's obvious. I want to look at, okay, where's the money coming in? Where are the listeners going to bet? What are are they going to have their Yeet shirt on and they're going to bet him? He may not win, but the public is going to bet him because they got their Yeet shirt on. They want to see him win. They think he's going to get a good pop. So that's where I always tell the coach, me and him go back and forth. We argue. Why didn't you call me? I could have told you the betting odds. Well, I wanted tickets written. I wanted plus money to come in, and then the realized the favorite will come in towards the end of it. So I want that dog money to come in. So I sometimes I look at the biggest pop, feature sales, what people's doing on social media, because the WWE universe is gonna bet it, not the guy that wants to bet to see Kansas City Chiefs win the Super Bowl. The WWE universe is gonna bet it first.
Really, that's interesting. Now, I got to imagine that probably the Royal Rumble is one of the most bet upon events
Yeah.
of the year. So, what is the thought process going in there? Because you have 30 people entered into the battle royal, 30 participants, but some of them are not known ahead of time?
Yeah, I usually have about anywhere between for the men 60 to 75 on the list. I had the coach on this year. Shane McMahon's on the list every year. Hey, I think the coach had 4 tickets written on him. I don't know if it was his family members. So I usually add a lot more. Now, women's is totally different. It can maybe get 40 to 50 just because the pool is not as big as the men's. But for men's, I can put 75. I can guarantee you the guy that's 100 to 1 or 5,000 to 1, I can guarantee you there's at least 2 tickets written on him.
All right. So let me just do this real quick. You have to dumb this down, not only for me, but for the listeners. So you said, for instance, the dog. Explain the dog. That means the underdog, correct?
Underdog, yeah, plus money, yes.
Okay. So you said for John Cena, you have minus 3,000.
Yes.
All right. Now explain how that works. Explain that.
If you want to win $100 on John Cena, you have to put up $3,000
to win 100.
Yes. And if you bet Logan Paul at 9 to 1, $1 would get you $9, or 100 would get you 900.
Okay.
So look at it this way, as I tell this to coach and people who think, oh, there's no way we're going to give Paul money because now Cena doesn't have a belt. He doesn't really need to win. He's going to get a pop. He's going away pretty soon. Can you imagine what Paul will be on his resume? And people will hate him more if he beat John Cena. So we're going to get, I can guarantee you, I'll probably close that one probably 7 to 1, not 9 to 1, because it's the amount of money that will come in on Logan Paul.
Wow. So you get stupid drunks out in Vegas, like you said.
You know what? I don't think that's such a bad bet. I think that's a good return on your investment.
Logan Paul, you mean?
Yeah, on Logan Paul. I might have to hit that one up. I might have to.
Would you bet that, Jimmy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's worth I think it's worth 100.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think could happen? Obviously, you wouldn't bet on it, right?
Well, you know what?
Tell me, Raphael, he's playing your game. You telling me stupid. Tell him.
No.
I don't think that's going to happen, but I would sprinkle a couple dollars, maybe not a hundo on it, but I would sprinkle a couple because anything can happen. I mean, we saw it in so many other matches. Perfect example, we saw the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
True.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but it's one of those things you don't see a lot of the larger, companies. You see all these commercials every 5 seconds on ESPN or ABC or whatever. Why do you think a lot of the other companies haven't really picked up, whether it be WWE? I've seen DraftKings have sometimes do the AEW stuff here and there. Is it just a matter of picking it at the right time?
Well, you can't bet it on there. They'll put it on there, and there'll be a disclaimer just for entertainment purposes only. So there's no one state that I know it's on there. Now, I had a meeting with Gaming Control Board in Las Vegas because they were asking me, because I do political odds too, and that's probably one of the biggest things. A presidential election is probably 5 Super Bowls the last week. The amount of money that comes in on any election, and you can't even bet it here in the States. I'm talking worldwide money coming in, and they were asking me, well, how could we bring this kind of bets into Vegas or into United States? The biggest issue, I think, is when you're a sports book, you're actually sitting in a casino. So if I put up, let's say, WrestleMania odds, and I say, okay, this max bet is only going to be $100, which most of the time wrestling bets are maxed out at 100 because they're pretty much for customer service issues. They're not like the only guy's going to come in and like, hey, I'm going to make $1 million betting on WrestleMania today. No, it doesn't work like that. It's not football. So we'll put $100 max bet. So now a guy comes in who just lost $1 million at Baccarat. Now he's trying to get his money back, and he's whatever gold player, platinum player, and he wants to bet John Cena at minus 3,000, and he wants $3 million. I have to tell him, no, sorry, it's only $100 max. He's probably going to call the president of the hotel, probably going to call somebody. Hey, I just lost millions of dollars on Baccarat. Why can't I bet this? It's in the same building. That's the issue it's going to have, because they pretty much bully the sports books to take these $1 million bets when they don't want to, because they have to satisfy the big wigs of the casinos.
So what got you into this? Like, in other words, did you go to college? You obviously did.
Nope.
No.
It's funny how you said that, because I was in a production meeting from another show, and they're like, hey, we want to do what's a university show, and everyone wear their colors and stuff like that. I'm like, what if I didn't go to college? Like, you didn't go to college, you're not a statistic major. I'm like, no, I'm street cred. I mean, I've been doing this legally and illegally for pretty much all my life.
So all right. So what got you into it? Like just an obsession? I mean,
Think what really got me into it in high school, I couldn't play basketball anymore. I had some health issues, and the doctor said, "You know what? No more. You're done playing sports." And I just wanted to be around it. I knew I wasn't going to be an NBA, or college or that, but I just wanted to be around it. So my cross street neighbor was, of course, a bookie, and so he he pretty much taught me a lot of stuff, and I learned a lot of stuff. And so high school, I started, taking some bets here and there. I think that's how I passed English. Uh,
right?
and I just got, and then I went to Vegas. And I actually, when I was doing it illegally, I actually was in jewelry sales because the guy that taught me pretty much everything, he told me, hey, if you're going to be a bookie, you need to have a full-time job being commission based. So the government won't know where all your money. You can say, hey, you know what? I had a good month selling suits, selling cars, whatever you were doing. So I went to Vegas because my parents were living there at the time, and I was right after a Super Bowl, and I was just sitting in a sports book at Caesars. I knew all the guys there because I used to lay off my action when I would go to Vegas with to see my parents. I would lay off my future action, and I was sitting in a sports book, and they're like, Raphael, why you look so tired? I'm like, I just got through a retail season. I'm tired, stuff like that. Why don't you come work for us? I'm like, I don't know. And so like, hey, you know pretty much more than my supervisors do. So I'm like, I don't want to start off. I want to start off at the bottom. So that's fine. You can be an admin. That's the guy that just puts in all the numbers in the computers, puts everything in and stuff like that, helps the odds makers when they can. I'm like, that's fine. Well, my first day, they caught 15 guys betting out of their windows illegally, and they were mad. So I got promoted
Oh,
pretty much early just because of my day one. And then I told people I got moved up in the casino industry, and especially in the sports books, because at the time I was single, was not married, and had no kids. Like all my peers had kids. They had to take their kids to little league, school stuff, and all that. So I would work pretty much from 6 in the morning until if Hawaii had a halftime show at their football game, I would be there till like 1 in the morning because they're doing a luau at the halftime of the Hawaii at that time Fighting Warriors. And I was and I'm stuck there doing halftime prop bets for them. So I got to know a lot of people, and then I just got kept on getting promoted. And finally, my last contract at MGM, I opened up City Center Aria. I designed and opened up that sports book, and my contract was up. I was getting so many offers to do presidential odds, Oscars, the Razzies, wrestling, just everything and anything. They were people. So now I get paid to do the most craziest odds that I can think of, or someone that can send me.
Okay, which whether it's a sport or like you mentioned the Oscars or political, which is the hardest one to handicap for you?
I would say, ooh, that's a good one. I would probably say political because me, now do like governor races for like every state and mayoral
Oh, okay.
races. So it's a lot of reading and a lot of like notes and stuff like that. And I sometimes have to watch horrible debates. So it's a lot of note taking. So I would say that's probably the hardest, and it's probably that has the most money coming in.
hmm.
Wow.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So what is your easiest one for you in your mind being the dog?
I would
Woo, woo,
say,
woo, woo, woo.
probably NFL, just because I've been around. I mean, it's not my favorite sport. People think, I can't believe it's not your NFL. You're un-American if you don't like the NFL. Well, working in this industry made me dislike the NFL because it kills a lot of my emotions, and a lot of my ties to do other stuff. But I think since it's so much easier to know what the bettor is going to do. Like we all know they're going to bet Kansas City. We all know the Green Bay Packers are one of the heaviest bet teams in the world. So you already know you're going to get that money no matter what kind of team. So you pretty much know your clients before they even get on the field or a week in advance. I would say NFL probably is.
That's
So
an interesting one. Sorry, Brian, because you
go, go.
mentioned Green Bay is one of the most heavily bet on
Yep.
teams. Is it because of their past history? Is that what it is?
And that and it's their passion. I mean, I tell people my first time I went to Green Bay to watch a football game, I'd never seen grocery stores closed, gas stations closed when the game is on. It's
No.
the whole city just shuts down when there's a home game out there. Trying to go to a restaurant to have lunch right during the game is nowhere to be found. So I just think it's the passion That's why we get a lot of Green Bay action. Of course, when Tom Brady was winning all those rings in New England, they were a heavy bet team. But I would say Green Bay Packers year after year is always one of the biggest bet teams.
Interesting.
Another quick question. You're in my department, buddy. You're going to be drilled here. Um,
Yes, I have triple mania odds out. If that's what you're asking.
I'm not even interested in that. I am interested in that though. But anyway, you know how they Vegas does how many games a year a team will win?
Total season wins.
Yes. So you obviously are into that
Yep.
part. Okay.
Yep.
What do you think about the Commanders?
Oh, yeah, I guess you're a Commanders fan. I guess we're not friends after this one.
No, not at
I'm a
all.
big believer of the sophomore slump. We've
I
seen it
knew
last year. We've
No.
seen it last year with CJ Stroud. We've seen it in the WNBA with Caitlin Clark. I mean, it happens a lot that people just don't realize. Last year, Washington fully healthy. Look at last year, Houston. They were losing wide receivers every time I was refreshing my screen. I mean, so I just think they had so much luck on their side, and they have skill. I mean, Daniel's really, really good quarterback. Love watching him play. But I think now teams have 18, 19 games of film on him. So I think they're going to be up there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're going to be coming last place. They're not the New York Giants, but I have a big question mark on them this year.
Do you remember how many games they were projected? Do you remember?
I think 8 or 9. I think it was.
I think it was 9. I think it was 9 or 9.5.
Yeah,
Would you
that
dog that?
division. What was it?
Would you dog on that one?
I'd probably look at the under, and my twin brother's probably going to smile for no reason after I said that. I would not be shocked if the Dallas Cowboys are much improved than what we're all making fun of with them not signing their defense and Jerry Jones wants to have a circus anytime he opens up his mouth. I would not be shocked if the Dallas Cowboys are improved from last year.
But they said that last year and the year before
I know,
about
I know. I wasn't a big fan of them last year. I had them under total season wins last year.
Huh.
You just made Dave LaGreca happy.
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because at work, I was talking to a Miami Dolphin fan, unfortunately, and we're talking about okay, well, wins for the AFC East, and of course, I said my Bills would win a division with only I said 4 losses. But he's like, oh, what do you think the rest of the division? I said, you will be shocked. New England will win at least 10 games this year. And that, no,
I'll
don't think
take
so?
that. I'll take that,
Yeah.
dog.
Well, it was risky,
I
but
tell
I said, yeah,
If you like the Buffalo Bills, their total season wins for the division is 3.5. So I would probably look at that because I think it's still even
Yeah.
money last time I checked. I think if you're looking for, I hate to say for sure winning because anything can happen to Allen, but I just think their team that they have on the field, I think is really good if they can stay healthy.
yeah. It was more so I was trying to bust his balls too because he's a Dolphins fan. I said, dude, Tua Tagovailoa will be out by week 4. He'll probably do something stupid with a run. He'll go head first, get another concussion, then you guys will only win like 4 or 5 games, but didn't really take
They'll be
to,
looking for a new. They'll be looking for a new head coach probably at the end of the season.
Oh, probably, yeah.
So, Raphael, we have to, unfortunately, switch back to what this show's about, and that's wrestling. I was having fun, but I know that some of our fans tune in just because we are wrestling, so that's cool. What is the biggest dog you've ever taken in wrestling that you were just absolutely shocked and just thought you just laid it out there, not really thinking it was going to happen, and it happened?
My face was probably the same as that guy's meme when Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar. So I was that one. I mean, I remember we opened up that one. I think Undertaker was minus 4,000, and I think Brock Lesnar was 15-1. And of course, dog money was coming in, even though we all know the perfect record. Oh, there's no way Undertaker is going to lose. We all know the stories of Vince didn't want him to lose, blah, 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 blah. But the money was still coming in on Brock Lesnar. And I tell people, now when Brock Lesnar's here, and even before that, he was getting UFC money coming in because he was fans of UFC. NFL money was coming in because he's a former NFL player. So we were always getting Brock Lesnar money coming in. We closed at 9-1 for Brock Lesnar, and the Undertaker was minus 3,000. on that
Wow.
one. But that was probably one of the biggest, like, oh my God, what did I just see? And so that was probably one of the biggest shock and odds for me as an odds maker for wrestling.
What do you think about Brock being back? Your thoughts?
Uh, I think they had to do it. They had to do something on a Sunday SummerSlam because I still trying to get my refund for Sunday WrestleMania. I thought Sunday WrestleMania was awful, was complete awful, and I was just like, really? That's how they're going to close it? And I would have been even happy if they closed it with Cody and John Cena, and I think it would have been sponsored by Kleenex because both of them were crying. But then I was really impressed that they brought in Brock Lesnar to do this because they needed something. I think Coach and Russo always tell me this. Triple H watches and listens to a lot of shows and reads a lot of stuff, and I think he heard the WWE universe being disappointed on SummerSlam or WrestleMania Sunday. He had to do something to trump Seth Rollins on Saturday, and I think he did that, knowing that maybe The Rock should have been there. If it wasn't The Rock, I was just praying to the wrestling gods and the gambling gods. If I saw Travis Scott come out, I was gonna throw my computer out the window.
That's a very fair assessment. Very
I'm
fair
sure you
assessment.
probably,
That is
sure you
very
probably
fair.
wouldn't have been the only one.
No, I would have hopped a plane and gone chartered one just to go down there and do something to Travis Scott. I don't know what. I'm not a
Oh,
violent
phenomenal.
person, so I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, you're Canadian. You're nice.
Yeah. I would have
Suppose-
I am
apologized
putting
before
odds out
hitting
who
him,
Brock.
though.
I'm going to put out how many matches he will have in 2025 and
Oh, you are?
26. Yeah, I'm
Oh.
working. I
All
got to
right.
take. I just
I
got
would
done
think-
doing Little League World Series odds, and I had to do some other stuff. So I have some wrestling stuff that I got to do. I had to do Triple Mania, so I have like a list of stuff. Like, every day I add more stuff to the list that I have to do odds for. And Brock Lesnar, for how many matches he'll have in the rest of the season in 2026 is one of the prop bets I'll have.
All right, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see here. I'm sorry, Jimmy.
No, no. Go ahead.
This is very, very fascinating. So, do you come up on your own with some of these, like, or a lot of these?
all of my own.
Really?
Yep.
What about the Little League World Series? Like,
Oh,
just
that's a lot. That's a lot of now that, thank God for YouTube and ESPN Plus and all that, you can watch regional games and Little League World Series from like all the regional games in California and all that. So I usually will start looking at box scores and pitching and stuff like that in the regionals. That's why I think California is going to be really hard to beat. They have a deep, deep, deep pitching team. Taipei and on other side, really deep team, and they have two lefties that can just smash the ball. So I think they'll be probably a pain to beat. But again, it's a lot of reading. And as coach, I'm up. I'll be texting him at 3 a.m. Hey, can you believe I just got this this prop report? Because I have PR people that will send me some too. Like, hey, can you do this betting prop bet so we can put it in a newspaper or a magazine or a website? I'm like, fine, I'll do it.
Wow. All right. So, last thing, and then we'll probably move on to our third count, unless Jimmy wants to, because it looks like Jimmy's itching. And that's cool.
No,
I
we'll
love
do it in the third count. That's fine.
Okay, I love when you itch, Jimmy.
I itch.
Well, scratch. Shit.
I am.
So-
You just can't see it. No.
Exactly. How far am I off from where you're going with Brock Lesnar between 24 and 25 and 26, right?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me
My
guess.
numbers anywhere.
Let me guess.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to see if I'm close to you. I'm going to go with, and I want Jimmy to jump in and guess too.
Hmm.
I'm going to go with, we're just talking matches, right?
Yeah,
Matches.
matches. Yes.
Not appearances, matches.
No, matches.
I'm going to go with 15 to 18.
Wow.
You're going that
For
high.
25 and 26?
Yeah.
I'm going under.
Yeah, how much are your limits? What's your bankroll right now?
Me?
How it's yeah, you. I want
Yeah.
that number. I want that number.
Well, I was
I
trying.
don't even think he hits close to the tens.
I don't think he hits
Yeah.
double digits.
Yeah.
Really?
My number was anywhere between 5.5 and 6.5.
Wow.
Just off the top of my head. Like I said, I haven't
I
done
would-
the research. I want to look at the calendars and look at
Mhm.
possible matches. You figure he's probably going to wrestle Roman Reigns again just because the last one was pretty cool.
Right.
The tractor and the ring blowing up and whatever. I think figure that's the case. John Cena.
That's
Uh,
true.
I
So,
figured at least a Saturday night's main event somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 Saudi events probably
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
pay the most. So
Mhm.
he gets a lot of appearance fees there. So I just don't see that many from him.
You might be right, I guess. So you're basically saying special matches only, basically.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I don't think he wrestles on a Raw. No, there's no way unless Netflix wants to pay him extra, or he gets a haircut. One of the two.
Very interesting. Very interesting. That is awesome, though. It's really cool. I'm fascinated, bro.
Oh, what are the odds on him getting a haircut?
I haven't done that one yet. So don't ask because someone will probably. It's funny. I texted Tommy and I know I have a text stream of Gabby and all that. Someone requested I could do Naomi odds and what's wrong with her. And they're like, what
Oh,
would you put number one? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I haven't really like dissected it yet. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna put that out yet, but that was a request that I got late last night.
I have a few ideas with that.
So do I, but like I said, I don't. I'm like, I don't want to do stuff like that. I mean, Tommy wants me to do over under minutes on matches. Like, how long is this match going to be?
That's cool,
There-
though.
Well,
Yeah.
there used to be a website. I don't know if they're still out there. It was it Pro Wrestling Sheet or Pro Wrestling something or other, where you could actually go on and you would like print out a sheet and it was like grids and you'd be like, okay, is it gonna be submission? Is it gonna be pinfall? Is it
Yeah,
gonna be
I do
count
those.
out?
I do those bets. Like, how would this match end? Submission, pinfall,
Yeah.
DQs. All the big PLEs, the top like three matches. I'll put stuff like that. Who takes, especially tag team matches? Who takes the pin? I'll do prop bets like that as well.
Cool.
So guys, why don't we do this? Why don't we take a brief break, come back in our third count, close shop. Raphael's a busy dude. I know he's got many appearances. He's the face of the runs the place pretty much. So why don't we do that? Head up to our third count right here on Roughing It Up.
I want to bet right now.
This is your 3 count.
Welcome back to our third count. We have Raphael Esparza with us. He is the king of sports betting and making odds and whatever. You give me the proper terminology, Raphael, please.
I usually tell people I'm a global odds maker. So I work for a company called Doc Sports Service. I work for a coaching company and all that stuff. But that's what my official title is: Doc Sports Service Global Odds Maker.
It sounds so much better when it comes from you.
It does.
And getting it right as well. And you mentioned earlier when we were talking that you were the first person to ever have sports betting on pro wrestling.
Yes.
Do you ever have betting lines on particular angles, or would be like the big debate recently is about Karrion Kross, and is Karrion Kross situation, is it a work? Is it a shoot? Do we know? Do we not know? Are there odds on something like that where you say whether it is or not?
I was thinking about that when I was watching his interview today. I forgot where it was. I think it was Ariana.
Ariel
Let's
Wani,
see. Yeah, I was watching that, listening to it. I was thinking about putting that. Well, I don't think it is work. I don't think we're going to see him come back for a while. I would not be shocked if we see him with another organization. Because what I understood is, well, what I read is they offered him a late contract, but there was no Scarlet on the contract. So why would he say something like that if it's a work? I would have just kept that out of the conversation. So I probably won't put something up on that. But I do do other things like when someone gets released, where would they go next? Like I have odds of will someone jump ship and will UFC MMA fighter be a pro wrestler? Like who would be the next one and stuff like so yeah, stuff like that. But that's an interesting one. I never thought about carrying across.
Let me ask
Now,
you this. I'm sorry. Go, Jimmy.
No,
Finish
does
it
the
out.
majority of the wrestling betting involve WWE? Do you get a lot of action with other organizations as well?
Oh yeah, TNA is a really big one. AEW is probably, how can I say this not being rude? Probably the easiest to put odds up there because I think their storylines pretty much tell you it's who's going to win. It's not even going to be close. So a lot of their matches I have minus 2,000, minus 3,000. I really have one that's really close that can go both ways that I'm going to get both ways of action. So I think AEW is probably the hardest to try to make it fun to bet without saying, oh, this Moxie's going to win. There's no chance he's going to lose on this one. TNA is a little bit hard. Doing Triple Mania was a little bit hard. I had to watch a little bit more tape on that one when I was doing their odds late last night. So I would say yes. I'm trying to expand as much as possible because, like I said, I think it's gaining ground on people realizing that you can bet that. Even if you don't bet it, at least you'll know, wow, who's the favorite and who's the underdog.
Okay, I got one more question for you, and I'll let you guys go because you mentioned Triple Mania, and JBL is going to be on commentary with Corey Graves.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do an over under on how many people will get offended by something JBL says during the broadcast.
Still blown away that he's on the broadcast. You're 100. And when I heard that, I'm like, there's that has to be a typo. Like, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen on that one. I'm actually probably normally I don't record a lot of things. I just watch it live and take
Mhm.
notes while I'm doing it. I'm probably going to watch live and record it just in case I miss something he said. But yeah, it's the commentary is probably what I'm most intrigued about on this one.
So I actually didn't realize that till just now. That's gonna now I'm watching it.
Yeah.
So God, that made me forget what I was gonna say, Raphael.
Well, I got one if you can't think
There's
of
a lot of that going around, Brian.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, RJ.
it. Drink the beer.
Got you.
Hey, you win another beer. You mentioned before too that you're working with, excuse me, Coach John the Coachman, Vince Russo, Gabby the Spies, Tommy. How did you get hooked up in that group?
Circle. That circle.
I wanted to be nice.
I actually met one of the guys that was working for them, and this is right when the other show that he had on before Coaching Company, DTL, and they asked me, "Hey, we're looking for a guest to come on. You want to come on?" And the guy I was talking to knew my history of doing odds. I met him during Super Bowl and stuff like that in Vegas, and everyone wanted to talk to me in Vegas during the Super Bowl because I did all the Taylor Swift prop bets, so everyone kind of knew who I was, and so they asked me, "Hey, can you come on DTL and do a spot with us?" So they brought me on a Tuesday. And then one of the shows after Tuesday, we had a production meeting and coach was like, "Hey, Raphael, tell me a little about yourself." And I'm like, so I just told him my history. He's like, "Holy cow, I actually have a live odds maker that actually makes live odds for people to bet on." I'm like, "Yeah, I've been doing it I did it in sport. I did it in Vegas for 15 Super Bowls. We say Super Bowls, not years, because that's what it feels like when you work there for a sports book." And then after that, so I've been in the industry for almost 30 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. So if you were to say sporting wise, the best dog you are, what sport is it that you're pretty damn good at?
I would say if you're looking to make the best buck, I say baseball because you get a lot of good plus monies. Because if you really know bullpens and rotations and who pitched yesterday in the bullpen, who's probably not going to probably pitch that much in this game, I think baseball is probably the best profitable sport to bet on. The best place to have action and watch an event. I'm not saying this just because I'm on your show. It's the Royal Rumble. Because if you're a fan, you really don't know who's coming out and stuff like that. So if you have a box pool or any kind of gambling, if you're buddying and all that, Royal Rumble, you don't know who's going to come out and that's out of that curtain when the numbers back to 3, 2, 1. You don't know who's coming out. So I think that's the more energetic. Like, oh my God, I have this one. I have these 4 wrestlers in the Royal Rumble. It's my guy finally going to come out, and you may have a guy that doesn't come out, and you're stuck with that guy.
So Raphael, okay, your name obviously is not tied to these lines, correct?
What do you mean?
Like they don't say by you.
No.
Because you'd be murdered.
Oh yeah. I used to, one of my best stories in Vegas is me and Floyd Mayweather almost going toe to toe. So it's just because I was the guy that wouldn't let him bet his, I think it was $25,000. Eagles Cowboys game was a 4:05 game. They actually had the ball on the star, getting ready to kick off, and his entourage comes in. He wants to bet 25,000 on a game. I'm like, they're getting ready to kick off. I'm like, I can give you probably, I think I said maybe 5,000, and he's, don't you know who I am? Blah blah blah. He's going back and forth, going back and forth. Now they kick the ball off, and now I'm telling him, sorry, now you can't even have your $5,000 bet because you're too busy yelling at me. So now you have no bet. And boy, he's like, you're lucky you come around the corner, I'll kick your ass. What'd I do? Walked around the corner. I'm like, I'm right here. I'm like, and I got 100 cameras staring at you right now. It's going to stick up for me. So not my fault that you were late.
You should have let him punch you, because that's a secret, or not a secret, but that's a weapon, an illegal weapon.
I think that's probably why I walked around the corner, just
Yeah,
because I'm
smart.
like, if I could get a nice payday. But I've had beer bottles thrown at me when I used to work in Vegas. I've had, yeah, I would. It's not fun. Rich people hate to lose. They hate to lose.
So do poor people.
No, not as.
Yeah,
so
but
what you're saying,
rich
yeah.
people more. Yeah, for
No, because
sure.
they feel entitled.
So what you're saying is, if you were in the wrestling business, you'd be a great heel.
I, that's a good question. I don't know if I would be a good heel. I think that's what I'm labeled as, probably a heel.
Well,
Right.
you're a dog. You're a heel. You're
Yeah,
always voting
I
for the one who ain't gonna win.
yeah. So I would say yes. I'm taking people's money when I pretty much know how the money is going to be distributed. So yeah, I would say yes.
So how proud are you or unproud or when you're wrong? How does that work for you? It's got to be something, right?
You know what? I tell people today on Coaching Company's Rant Wednesday, and my rant was obnoxious football fans. And this is how I am in general. I could lose money in a bet. I can win the world. I can win Game 7 in the World Series, and I have the same demeanor. Because once you place your bet, or once you turn your TV on, they kick the ball, it's out of your hands. If you hit submit to place a bet, it's out of your hands. So I don't get mad if I lost a bet. I mean, I used to get crushed. There's one famous sports bettor. You can Google best sports bettor in Vegas, and the guy, I'll give you two initials, BW. You can Google that on YouTube, and his 60-minute story will come up. He used to bet with me in my at Aria Casino, and there's days that he would whoop me for like millions and millions of dollars. And so Monday, when I'm going into my president's office, and I had to tell him that I just lost X, Y, and Z, and I would get chewed out for a good half hour. So, like I said, there's nothing I can do once I accept that money, or once you hit submit to place your bet or anything. So I try to take everything as a grain of salt.
What was the were you around when Tim is it Tim Donnie
Tim
Donahue
Donahue, yes.
Donahue? Yes.
Yeah.
So this is a referee podcast. So NBA referee, got in trouble with sports betting on NBA teams, and and all that. How was I mean, obviously, clearly he got busted or whatever, but he claimed that everything was rigged, right? Or that it was that the NBA was they had cues, and they knew it. The league told him what to do, who to call on, and stuff like that. That was always an interesting thing, interesting take. And it seems like I don't know. I mean, this is a world of everything's a shoot or a kayfabe or everything's a work or whatever. So it made me think that sports is probably rigged somewhat based on what he was saying. What was your take on that?
A lot of stuff that, when back in the days when Vegas was the only place to do this, and now more places, we were the police dog. We were the ones that caught the Arizona State betting
Hmm.
scandal for their college basketball team. We're the ones that catch most of the tennis and soccer scandals. Tennis and soccer have more betting scandals in a month than U.S. sports probably have in a year. That you just don't hear about it because it's not all the almighty NFL, NBA. So they have more betting scandals. So we're the police dogs. So we get to catch that. Donahue's a different story because he didn't use sports books. He was using bookies, stuff like that. So
Hmm.
it's hard for us to catch that. And then some of the games he talked about, yes, you can see some kind of an angle he was using, but I would say probably 50% of the games that he admitted, we went back and watched it, and nothing looked out of the ordinary. It's not like he called a bad foul, or he called a
Right.
3-pointer or 2-pointer and all that. We actually dissected it. So I don't take a lot of his word honestly, because like I said, some of the stuff I didn't believe him, and some of the stuff I did. So
Yeah.
Do you think that wrestling is the only? I don't know about.
Predetermined?
No, no. Well, yes, but I guess sport or entertainment thing that we are, we do know outcomes prior to and admit it, because I have heard so much stuff, man, so much stuff, and it makes my heart break. It's like when you found out for the first time that wrestling was predicted, like in a booked. It was booked, and I've heard stuff about football, and I've heard stuff about baseball, and it's just like so disheartening. But I kind of believe it in a way because it's all about money.
I think politics would probably be ahead of wrestling in my eyes. Like I said, doing political odds for as many years as I have, I would say something more into that aspect. in wrestling. I don't do betting odds for every Raw, for every SmackDown, which those are probably predetermined weeks in advance or stuff like that. When I do the pay-per-views, like I said, I think about that. That's why I haven't watched the Netflix special and about them talking about what happened in WrestleMania because I don't. I still have to look at it in an odds point of view. I still want to look at it as a fan because I use fan so much when I'm doing my odds that I don't want to know what was going on back there, even though I know it goes on back there. For me as an odds maker, I didn't want to hear Triple H tell Cody this or The Rock said this and stuff like that. I didn't want to know that, and I probably won't watch it, even though everyone tells me it's really, really good. But I, as an odds maker, I, as a fan, don't want to have that in my head as I'm looking at the make SummerSlam odds and Royal Rumble odds and Clash of Paris odds and stuff like that. I don't want to have that in my head.
All right. So here's a question for you. You're an odds maker in a way. What are the odds if you were with your wife and your wife says, one night this week, we're going to go out to dinner, and you had to choose as a fan whether you were going to watch Monday Night Raw, Dynamite, Impact, or Friday Night SmackDown? Now, you can't go that Tuesday where maybe NXT is not something maybe you watch or not. But if it is, we throw that in there too. What I'm saying is, what night are you choosing to say, I'm not going to watch wrestling, I'm going out with my wife?
Well, now that they put SmackDown back to 2 hours, that would have been, if it was a still 3 hour show, it would have been an easy answer for that for that one. But I would still probably, it's a Friday night. And not only SmackDown is probably the one that I watch really, really late at night when all the games are over and I'm still doing some work and all that. Because it's a Friday night, there's always a top baseball game, there's always college football or something on it. It's just a bad night. Like for Raw, I don't watch live NFL games. I DVR and record them because I can watch an NFL game in an hour and a half. I'm not going to sit there and watch laundry hit the field and commercials and stuff like that. Fast forward is my best friend when I'm watching an NFL game. So I don't mind watching Raw when there's a Monday Night Football game because I can watch that Monday Night Football game in an hour span after Monday Night Raw. So I would probably have to say SmackDown for now. I'm a big fan of what TNA's been doing lately.
That's awesome, dude. Me too, actually.
May 3. I'm biased, so I'm a little biased. So
this is the first year I think I've done 3 TNA betting odds. First, normally I'll do the big one, but this year I've already done 3. I have to thank Gabby for that.
Yeah.
How are the hits on it?
Good. I mean, anything I put up, as long as it's advertised well and you tell people and stuff like that, the wrestling universe, not the WWE universe, the wrestling universe will find it.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you ever been on Busted Open?
No.
Wow. They need to get
you know,
on.
I would say this is probably the first year, 2025, that people are really starting to realize, wow, there's only a couple of guys that actually do wrestling odds. And like now that I do all these prop bets, like every time Roman Reigns is in a match, I do over under Superman punches. Because I do those prop bets because you can't really judge that. You can't really script that one. I don't think Roman Reigns is in the ring 2 hours in advance saying, you know what, I'm going to do my Superman punch 4 times in this match. At least in my point of view. Yeah. So I'll do how many spears, which everyone bets. SummerSlam, I did how many spears in that match, and everyone bet the over, and it wasn't even close. And the tsunami, I thought I was way wrong on that one. I had 1.5 tsunamis. He had 0 at SummerSlam. What are you doing, Triple H? How do you not have a tsunami in SummerSlam? What are you doing? So, but yeah, that's another thing. How I'm bringing fun into wrestling is I do all these weird prop bets. So people are like, oh, I'm not going to bet on something that's outcome, but I can bet how many Superman punches Roman Reigns is going to throw, or I can bet who's going to get pinned in a tag team match.
Do you have any ref bets? A ref bump or anything like that?
Ooh, a ref bump. I like that.
You know what happened? I'm being honest. This is what brought me up. So I was really known in my TNA days, my first initial run there, taking bumps every fucking main event. Like every main event. TV, pay-per-view, didn't matter. Like everyone. And it was true. And everybody on Twitter would start going, who says Brian Hebner gets knocked the fuck out again? And you would get all these people just like unanimously saying yes. I think that'd be cool because you could say it would have to be a match where you would see a ref bump coming. You know what I mean?
I have to write that. Or you could say who, what referee. I have to write that down. Or you could say what referee and keep it more broad.
Well, I mean, to me,
Well,
the
actually, no,
referee
actually, you couldn't
doesn't
do that.
matter.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
would say because you don't know the assignments. He wouldn't know the assignments.
right.
He could know them. Wink, wink. But
I don't, and I don't
I
want
know, I know.
to.
Uh,
But the thing about that is though, you can say you don't know the assignment, so you don't even know who's working the card because they
doesn't matter.
pay-per-views they shift. So
Yeah,
it's better not to even say a referee's name, period. Just say what match has a ref bump or
I like that.
whatever.
I like
Yeah.
that. I'll have to give you guys credit too when it comes up. I'll have to say, roughing it up. Right, got to give you guys credit if I put that one up.
Brother, whatever you want to do, we don't care. Whatever we can do to help, that's fine with me.
Yeah, we just don't want beer bottles thrown at us. That's all.
Well, Raphael,
no
there's
more.
so I know, right? Well, Raphael, there's so many things I still would like to ask you. I really want to do a part two. I really want to do, and
I'm
I
here.
want to do it next year, though. I know that sounds crazy. I want to do it because I want to see things happen between now and then. Now that I know what I know now, so I've learned a lot. But now that I know what I now I want to try and get you back on early 26. And
March Madness.
oh, there we go.
Well, obviously, Super Bowl season.
Oh, well, that too. That's
Mhm.
when is that? That's
Well, those-
February, right?
February.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, there we go. All right,
There you
book it, Raphael. Book it.
go.
Like I said in the chat, and ask some of you guys is your email addresses, and I'll send you all the wrestling ads that I put up, all the prop bets. I'll put you guys on my media list with coach and all that, and you guys will get the odds normally about an hour before the sports books even put it up, so you'll be able to see.
Nice.
Awesome.
You'll be like
I'll
first
send that.
knowledge.
I'll send that to you, Raphael.
Okay, yeah. So you guys, I'll put you on the list with Tommy, Gabby's on the list, and Vince is on the list and stuff like that. There's other people on there, so you guys will see the odds before even the sports books even put them up.
Cool. Very good.
Nice.
So I really
All
do
right.
want to thank you for joining us. This has been awesome for me. I really did like. I don't know, man. I had a great time. I had a great time.
I had a great time too. I've been, like I said, big fan of you guys and stuff like that. I think Tommy's the one that told me about the show and stuff like that. So I did a little archive and started listening to stuff. And so I want to say thank you
Nice.
guys for the good stuff.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Absolutely.
We will see you in 26. We will get you back on.
Take it easy, guys. Have a great evening and a great weekend.
You